Now, one of the biggest questions beginner DJs have is where do DJs actually get their music from? Do they use Spotify, DJ pools, Beatport, or is there some secret website where all the best tracks live? In this video, I'm going to show you exactly where DJs find music, how they discover new tracks, and how they build a clean music library that keeps growing year after year. By the end of this video, you will know exactly where to get your music from and how to build a music library that you'll actually want to DJ with. My name is Blakey, I'm a DMC champion, and I've helped thousands of DJs level up through my YouTube videos and online courses. So let's get into it. Now, when it comes to finding music for your DJ sets, there is not one secret source. Different sources are useful for different reasons, and I'm going to cover all of those in this video. If we take a look inside the Rekordbox software right here, you can see on the left-hand side, you've got a bunch of streaming services available right in the software. You have Apple Music, Spotify, Beatport, SoundCloud, and TIDAL. And all of these are excellent options, but they're all good at different things. When it comes to streaming services, the pros are you get instant access to basically any track in the world. It's great for discovery and it's great for practicing at home. But there are some drawbacks with streaming services. Number one, you don't own any of the music. And number two, a subscription is required if you want to keep using it. Now, I'm sure that basically everyone watching this video will already be signed up to a streaming service. So the best thing to do is log in to that streaming service that you are already signed up to in your DJ software. And if you're a beginner DJ, you can start mixing right away with all of the music that you've already saved onto your Spotify or Apple Music account, and you can start building your own playlists. But as your DJ career progresses, you are going to want to start to own all of the music that you use for your DJ sets. Because when you start getting gigs, maybe somebody books you to play at their wedding or their birthday party, if you were to turn up with your laptop and there's no internet connection, then you can't DJ, and that's no good. So streaming services are great for practicing at home and for venues where you know there's a stable Wi-Fi connection. But once you progress into becoming more professional, you're going to need to start owning your music, and that is where online music stores come into play. Now, one of my favorite options when it comes to purchasing music so that you can keep it is Amazon Music. But you can also use Beatport as an online store and also the iTunes Music Store. All of these options allow you to type in the track you want and then purchase it as a download so that you can keep it on your computer permanently. And there are huge pros to this. You own the music forever. The file quality, in terms of the sound quality, is going to be excellent, and it's a much more professional long-term solution. So keep this in mind for as your career progresses and you start to perform at gigs where you're going to need all of your music stored locally on your computer. Another great option for getting music as a DJ is to sign up to a DJ record pool. And this one right here is called DJ City. Now, a DJ record pool is a subscription-based membership, which gives you access to a huge library of curated music that you can download and keep forever. And if you sign up to one of these and really use it to its full potential, this can be a great value way of building out your music collection. Now, there are so many different record pools and they all serve different purposes. The reason I like DJ City is it caters to the style of music that I DJ most of the time. Hip hop, R&B, dance, open format. But there are other options like heavy hitters and the mashup. So I recommend doing a bit of research before you join one of these record pools, just to figure out if the one you're joining is right for the style of music that you would like to download. Now, the main pros of a record pool is that you can get multiple different edits of songs. You can get clean versions, which are great for corporate gigs and family events. You can also get intro edits, which is an edit of the song which contains a piece of instrumental at the start, which makes it super easy to mix that track in. And you usually get unlimited downloads, which make them great value for money. So a record pool like DJ City could be a great option for you. Now, next up, we've got underground sources of music discovery. And one of my favorite platforms for this is a website called Bandcamp.com. Now, Bandcamp is an online store which allows you to buy directly from the musicians, and it is a great way of discovering new music that most DJs will never find. This site is perfect for finding unique tracks for your DJ sets. I will cover this website in more depth later in this video, but it is a brilliant way of discovering new artists that you probably never would have found if you weren't using Bandcamp. And another underground discovery platform will be SoundCloud.com. I have spent so many hours getting lost down a rabbit hole of finding new music and new artists on SoundCloud. It is one of the best music discovery tools available because you can start searching through related tracks to tracks you love, related artists to artists you love, and trust me, you can lose so much time here on SoundCloud. Now, very quickly, before we go any further, if you would like to go much deeper on this topic of finding music and building out your DJ library, then I've created a completely free mini course that teaches you exactly how to do that in depth. If you would like to sign up and grab that course for free, then just click the link in the description. Now, knowing where to get music is only half the story. The real skill is learning how DJs discover music that other DJs miss. And to show you this, I'm actually going to start on bandcamp.com. So the first thing I'm going to do is go over to the search bar right here, and I'm going to type in the name of an artist that I know I like. And that artist is a UK garage artist called Body. So let's type that in and press enter, and let's go straight into Body's artist page. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is take a listen to their latest music release. You can actually see a sample pack right here, but their most recent music release is this one here. So now let's take a quick listen through these tracks and just see what we think. Let's take a listen to the other track on this release. So those right there are two tracks that I probably wouldn't have found if I was searching on Beatport or even an online download store. Most beginner DJs try to find hundreds of tracks, but it's a much better idea to just start with one or two tracks that you love, and then, as I'm about to show you, you can start to go down a rabbit hole of discovering new music that's adjacent to what you just liked. So now the first thing to do is make sure you're following that artist. I already am. And then you can do one of two things. You can either go into the artist page and discover more music by that artist, or you can scroll down. And then here at the bottom, you've got if you liked Body, you may also like. And this is where you can get lost for hours. I recommend diving into some of these releases, and anything you like, make sure you follow that artist and then go and check out more music by that new artist you've just discovered. Check out their older releases, check out their collaborations. And this is how one track that you've discovered can very quickly and very quietly become 10 brand new tracks that you love that you've just added to your collection. And then, of course, purchase and download anything that you want to keep forever. You can also do this exact same thing on Beatport. So let's go over to the genres in Beatport and let's go down to UK Garage and Bassline. And now let's take a listen to something from the Beatport top 10. And I'm going to choose a track by an artist I haven't heard of. So let's choose this track right here. Take a listen. Now, if you find that you like this track, I actually now recommend diving into the label that this track was released on. Because once you find a track you love and you start delving into the other releases on that label, chances are you're going to like a ton of music that's also from that label. So the label is right here, Heavy House Society. Let's click that. And now we're on the page for that record label. And you can even check out the top 10 tracks from that label. Now, if you've found multiple tracks that you love that are all on the same label, stop searching for more tracks and just start following that label and delving into their back catalogue of all of their music. Now, let's very quickly talk about something that I like to call the Shazam Trap. We've all used Shazam to find out the name and the producer of a track that we've never heard before, but the mistake is thinking that that's where the journey ends. The journey of discovery, when you've found a new song that you like, actually starts right there. The track that you just Shazammed, that is the start of a rabbit hole. Once you've found that track that you like, type it into Beatport and then follow the label, check out more from the artist, and that right there can take you on a rabbit hole that makes you discover so many more tracks that you love that you never would have found if you'd not put in that little bit of extra effort to discover some more music related to it. When it comes to building out your library, your first 100 tracks is more important than the next 1,000. I would much rather have 100 tracks that I really love and that I feel really represent me as a DJ than 5,000 tracks that I barely listen to and that I don't know that well. Quality will absolutely beat quantity every time when it comes to building your music library as a beginner. Knowing your music is way more important than just owning lots of it. I've been DJing for over 20 years and I can tell you I am still discovering new music every single week. Now, if you would like a clear step-by-step path that shows you exactly what you should be learning as a beginner DJ and in what order, then you should check out my Ultimate Beginner DJ course. I've spent the last year asking thousands of beginner DJs exactly what it is that they're struggling with and what they need help with. And I built this course to fix all of those problems. It will walk you through everything from your very first mix right the way through to DJing full sets with confidence. If you'd like to check it out, then just click the first link in the description. So now let's talk about what happens after you've found and discovered all of this new music. Because finding the music is only half of the job. The other half is keeping your music library clean, tidy, and organized so that it's an actual pleasure to DJ with. And this starts with storing your music properly. Now, what I recommend doing right at the start of your DJ journey is making a folder on your computer which stores all of your DJ music. And this folder could be anywhere, but I'm going to show you how to do it on the desktop. So let's right click on the desktop and I'm going to call this folder DJ Music. And every piece of music that I download is going to end up inside of this folder. And the reason for this is it just keeps everything a little bit tidier. And when the day comes that you have to upgrade your laptop, having all of your music in one place is going to be a lifesaver. So now let's head into that folder. And the next thing I recommend doing is making a brand new folder inside this folder every single month. So let's create a new folder and let's call this 06 2026. So this is my June 2026 folder. And every time I download brand new music in June, I'm going to add it to this folder. And then on July the 1st, I'm going to make a brand new folder and I'm going to call that folder 07 2026. This will keep everything organized and it will make moving to a new laptop incredibly easy. I used to work at Serato as an artist relations rep, and one of my jobs was to help DJs organize their library and keep their computer clean and usable. And one of the biggest problems I faced is when DJs had all of their music scattered all over their laptop. It can be a nightmare to bring all of that music together. So keeping it all inside your DJ music folder is going to make your life way easier in the long run. So for the sake of this video, I've just downloaded a bunch of Motown music that I've put in my June 2026 folder. So now let's create a folder on our computer inside that June 26 folder called Motown so that we can drag all of that Motown music into the Motown folder. And now we want to get this folder of music into Rekordbox. And there are a few ways of doing this, but I'm going to show you the simplest and cleanest way to do this as a beginner. Now, first of all, it's important to understand that your computer folders store the music. But inside our DJ software, which in this case is Rekordbox, this is where we're going to organize our music in folders and playlists that will make sense from a DJ's perspective. So let's go into Rekordbox. And this right here is the playlist tab. And then let's click on playlists right here. And this is where you can press the plus icon. And this will create a brand new playlist. Now, I actually am going to delete that untitled playlist that it just made, because what I want to do is I want to create a new folder before I create new playlists. And to do that, let's right click on playlists and then click create new folder. So now let's give this folder a name. I'm going to call this Motown. And then if I click this plus icon, I can make a brand new playlist inside this folder. So I'm going to call this June 2026. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all of my Motown music that I downloaded in June 26 into this playlist. And to do that, I'm going to go into the folder on my computer right here. I'm going to hold Command and A to highlight everything, and I'm going to drag it into that playlist. So now I'm going to put a bunch of UK Garage that I've just downloaded into a new folder called UK Garage inside the June 26 folder on my computer. So now with all of this UK Garage, let's go back to Rekordbox, right click on playlists, make a new folder, and this folder is going to be called UK Garage. And then let's make a playlist inside there and call it June 2026. And now we can drag these UK Garage tracks into that playlist. Now, the reason I'm showing you this is to show you that it's super important to put your music into your DJ software in a way that makes sense from a DJ's perspective. And you can go even further than this as well. you can make a folder called hip hop, and then you can start making playlists inside your hip hop folder, which account for all of the different styles of hip hop. So you could make a trap playlist, you could make a 90s old school playlist, and you could make a commercial hip hop club bangers playlist. And this way, when you find yourself in a situation where you're DJing to a crowd and you need to start playing a specific style of hip hop, you already have playlists there that will help you navigate that set in a way that's coherent and that actually makes sense. You could also make a house music folder, and then inside there, you can have a warm-up, chilled house playlist. You could have a deep and underground house playlist, and you can even have a peak time main room house playlist. The key at this stage is to keep things simple. If you find that you've got 500 tracks in your library, don't make 50 different playlists and folders, because that can actually make navigating your entire DJ library even more difficult than it needs to be. So just keep things simple at the start. Once you've added music to a playlist inside Rekordbox, the most important thing that you need to do next is analyze your tracks. So let's click on one of the tracks in this UK Garage June 26 playlist, and then hold Command and press A to highlight everything. And then if we right click it and go up to Analyze Tracks, this will bring up the analysis settings. And I highly recommend analyzing all of the new music that you put into your DJ library so that you can get key critical information like the BPM, the beat grid, and the key. So make sure BPM grid is ticked, make sure analysis mode is on normal, and then click OK. And Rekordbox is going to analyze all of these tracks so that you have the BPM information, the beat grid, and the key. The BPM is super important to understand because that is going to give you an idea of the tempo of the music. BPM stands for beats per minute, and the higher the number, the more intense in tempo the music is. So drum and bass will sit around 174, UK Garage will sit around 130, and hip hop will be between 80 and 100. The BPM is one of the most crucial touch points between you and the music in your library, because more often than not, it's going to determine whether the song you're going to play next is going to be a good fit for the song that's currently playing. Now, the next important thing that I want to show you is the star rating column, which is right here. Now, usually people would assume that the rating column should be used to give a rating for how high quality or low quality the track is in your eyes. But I actually think that's the wrong way to use the rating column. For me, the best way to use the rating column is to give the track an energy rating between 1 and 5. An energy rating of 1 would be a super chilled out lounge track, and a rating of 5 would be a big peak banger sing-along track that you would play at the peak time of your set. And the reason I think this is so important is it will give you a good visual representation of whether or not the track is going to fit into the moment that you're currently in your DJ set. If you're playing a warm-up set and the night is just getting started, you're going to want to avoid tracks that are a 4 or a 5 out of 5. So my advice is to listen through all of the music that you've just added to your Rekordbox library and give each track a rating between 1 and 5 based on the energy of that track. This is one of the most useful organizational systems that I've used because the energy of a track is universal, regardless of the venue that you're playing at or the crowd in front of you. And finally, the last thing I want to show you inside Rekordbox is something called intelligent playlists. And these can be super powerful. So let's go back over to playlists and let's right click on playlists and then go to create new intelligent playlist. And let me give you a very simple example of how you can make a new intelligent playlist. An intelligent playlist is a playlist which abides by certain rules that you give it, and it will update automatically. So let's create an intelligent playlist that only contains tracks in my library that I've rated 5 stars on the energy scale. So let's call this playlist 5 stars. And then down here, let's go to rating equals 5 stars. This is a very simple example, but it will give you an idea of how powerful intelligent playlists can be. So let's click OK. And now right here, you will see that there is a playlist containing all of the tracks in my library that I've given a rating of 5 stars. Now, of course, you can go way deeper than this. You could make a playlist of only your house tracks that are rated 5 stars. And you could even make an intelligent playlist with all of your house music rated 5 stars, but only containing music that you've added to your Rekordbox library this year. And you can even choose a BPM range or a certain artist name. Intelligent playlists are incredibly powerful, but at this beginner stage, I'd recommend only using them to create simple, intelligent playlists that are going to help you sort your music in a way that makes sense for you at this beginner stage. The biggest thing that I want you to take away from this video is that great DJ libraries, they're not built overnight. They're built one track at a time. Find a track you love, follow the artist, follow the label, and go down a rabbit hole of discovering new music which is related to that track that you just loved. And importantly, when it comes to bringing that music into your DJ library, stay as organized as possible. Repeat that process every week, and before long, you're going to have a library full of music that you genuinely love playing. And once you've got a library of music that you genuinely enjoy, the next thing is understanding how to take all of that music and start building the key core foundational skills that are going to take you from a complete novice beginner with no experience to being able to DJ full sets with confidence. So I recommend you watch this video right here, which has already been seen by hundreds of thousands of people, and it will teach you all of the core skills that you need to start DJing properly in 2026.